I'm using the Pro Tools demo session. It's Kelly Malone's Earth and Stars. It's the same one you can download from your Avid account page where you downloaded Pro Tools 11, or you can get it in the working files as part of this training. And in the mix window over here on the right, they have given us a master fader. There's our Sigma, so we know that it's a master fader. And you should always, always have a master fader. Without it, we're really just guessing at our overall volume when all of the elements of our mix are combined together. I'm switching over to the edit window, Command equals. In 11, we can keep an eye on this with the new meters that show up at the top of the edit page. So I'm going to click on this triangle and say minimal. And then here are the new meters that show up here at the top of the edit page. And then I want to show you one more thing that's new to 11. If I open up a transport up here, fade in. This is new to 11, and what it means is start when I play the space bar, but don't go to full volume until, and then you define the point here. It can be in minutes and seconds or bars and beats. It's a little bit, like a count-off works, except that it's just fading into the full volume. So that's new for 11. And of course, if you have window transport, the full transport window open, there it is down there in the lower left-hand corner. All right, I'm going to close my transport, send this back to all, and jump back to the mix window for a second, and show you that there are lots and lots and lots of tracks in this project. And it starts with drums over here on the left, and then some percussion, and the lead vocal is sort of down here in the middle somewhere. There's some other rhythm instruments. There's the lead vocal, and then there's some stuff on the right, including some auxes that we'll talk about pretty soon. It's a pop song, so we expect the lead vocal to be the most prominent thing. Its volume isn't really that loud, although it probably has some compression going on, maybe on the track itself when they laid it down. As you're learning about mixing, here's a trick that some of us have tried to kind of force us to focus on what we're trying to achieve. In a pop song, the loudest thing is going to be the lead vocal, and then probably right behind it is the drums, some of the percussion, and probably right behind that, maybe just as loud as the drums, is the bass, and then there'll be some keyboard parts for support, and then maybe some guitars, background vocals, other things that fall into the pop song realm. No one is ever going to see a screenshot of your mix when they listen to your music. So what you could do is start over here and put your lead vocal on the left, and then put the next thing behind it, this next supporting role, put that next to the lead vocal, and work your way down. Your volume faders will probably start up here and just sort of gradually taper off as you go down toward the master fader. And that forces you to kind of organize these tracks in a way that narrows the focus on what should be the loudest thing and what should be right behind that and what should be right behind that. It's very tempting to just throw the faders up, make everything really loud, and there's really no focus at that point. Now, it's kind of unconventional to do that, but if the lineup method, let's call it the lineup method, works for you, then go ahead and use it. Now, alternatively, you could start with the softest thing and work your way up this way so that the loudest thing is right over there next to the master fader, and then your faders will point the other way. It's kind of a mirror image of the first way. So volume is one way to get something to be more prominent. Another is to carve out a space in the frequency spectrum that lets that part stand out. For instance, if the middle frequencies of an acoustic guitar part are getting lost, it could be because the high end of the bass is getting in the way. So maybe you cut some of the high from the bass and you've carved out a space for the middle frequencies of the acoustic guitar to creep through. And so now you're shaping the sounds so that they fit together. There's two ways to sweeten a sound. You can boost the good stuff, or you can cut the bad stuff. So when you roll the rumble out of an acoustic guitar, that will give the bass room to breathe between, let's say, 60 hertz and 125. And when you take the bottom out of a sound, it's going to make it sound brighter, even though you're really not touching the high end at all. Now, what I usually do at this point in the mix is to set the volumes for each component, whether it's MIDI or vocal or sound effect, and that's the rough mix. And as I'm setting those rough volumes, I'm thinking about the texture of each element. Does it need reverb? Does it need delay? Does it need compression? Is the volume perfect from end to end, or will it need a volume move or lots of volume moves? So as we build textures, our bus and aux system is a very efficient way to set up and alter textures, and we'll take another look at that in the next movie.